Hey guys, today we're going to be covering some neighbor drama on TikTok. Weird drama. I don't understand. It's just a confusing encounter altogether. But there's a TikToker named Brokeback Contessa, I believe it's called. And this guy, he is opening kind of like a fancy grab and go lunch place in New York and stuff, but he's living in LA, and this all happens because he moves into an apartment in LA, his new apartment there, and there's a service that you can get if you live at this apartment building where you can have the staff of this building bring up your bags if you don't want to carry them up to your apartment. I do want to say that this is kind of like a ritzy, high-end people live here. They're kind of rich. I don't know how rich, but they have money because they're very nice apartments. Well, this woman has as I said before, the staff carry her bag up to her apartment. Well, unfortunately, and the guy who made the TikTok video is going to say that, our apartments are very close to each other and they have almost the same kind of numbering or units. So he said it could get confusing. And unfortunately, the hotel staff brought the woman's bag to this man's room, and his housekeeper then, in turn, thought that, oh, these are his bags he brought up, so let me just bring them in. There was no malicious intent. There was no, malice to this action. It was all just a communication from the apartment complex, and then the housekeeper just thought, oh, they're the bags. They're outside of his door. Let me bring them in. It was nothing mean. But this woman is gonna make it oh, it's the worst thing that could have happened. And the guy, and I'll show his other video, his response video to the ring footage. So he posted to TikTok ring footage of the encounter that happened at the door. Then he responds to a comment stating his side of the story. And a lot of the response to this video is mostly of what this lady says. So this lady that is kind of, I wouldn't say accusing him of taking her bags, but more of condescendingly being throwing shade at him, saying that if I saw foreign bags, I wouldn't take them into my apartment. That's just me. And then when he was trying to say, hey, it's just a mix-up, I didn't mean to take your bag or anything like that, I just thought it was my housekeeper's bag. The lady goes, do you really think a housekeeper would have an T. Anthony bag? And it's he explains also in his other video that there are housekeepers in LA that have way more expensive bags than what she has. So a lot of people in the comments have really made this out to be the meme of the T. Anthony bag. So let's get into this.
Sorry, my housekeeper put them in here.
I cannot believe I've lived here for 20 years. This has never happened to me. Never. I'm beside myself. I just came in from Aspen. I'm who would do that?
Yeah.
He would never accept anything, but this was, and he's been here the whole day.
Yeah. These are them?
Oh,
I thought these were
God. My T. Anthony bag is a housekeeper's bag. That's nice. Thank you. Have you just moved in?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you were doing work for a long time, right?
Someone else did the work.
Somebody else was nonstop. Yeah, and they took a dog, I think. Do you have a dog?
I have a dog.
Okay, somebody had a dog who was yapping a lot. We don't live here all the time, so we're the nicest neighbors you could ever have because we never complain about anything because we're never here.
Right.
But I have lived here for 20 years.
Okay.
So, what happened? They just
had other bags, and then they brought them up here, and she put them inside.
Okay, so just know I will never do that to you. If I see foreign bags, I would.
Well, no one did anything
check.
to you.
I'm just
I think it was
myself because I didn't know where they were.
I think it was a mistake.
A security camera downstairs trying to find my bags. So no, it was a mistake. Of course, it's a mistake, but you would be frustrated too, and you would be nervous if all your worldly goods for tonight were in that one bag. Yeah, you would be. Believe me, you would be.
Okay.
You would be upset too. Trust me, I won't do it to you.
I didn't do it to you.
I won't accept bags that are not mine.
I thought they were hurt. Oh.
Guys, can't you tell? She's a really nice neighbor. That's the funniest line I've ever heard. One, that she's a nice neighbor, and two, she never complains about anything. Well, I hate to say it to this woman, but she just did a whole lot of complaining to this guy, and she complained about things that this guy couldn't control. So, I don't know if you guys read it, but in the response video that I'm going to play after this one, he talks about how the apartment got renovated. So before he moved in, this means he doesn't have control of what happens. They were doing renovation to this unit, and there was no way that him and his dog could live there because they're doing full renovation. So this lady complains about that, and even in his little note says we couldn't live in a construction thing, like a construction little zone. But then she goes on and keeps complaining, and I think the slam of the door on her side was the best thing because it was just showing how rude she is, how narcissistic this woman probably is. And I love how she says too that, oh, we're never here. But then she complained about that construction. So she's obviously here. She's obviously living in this apartment almost full time if she heard that construction going on. So let's get into the response video. This response video is going to cover a lot of, tied up some information that we didn't know going into this because, like I said before, it's just a Ring camera footage, so he's going to give us some more information on this.
I just woke up, so I'm going to get this video out of the way before my workday starts. Basically, I'm living in LA. I just moved into this apartment. I haven't met any neighbors yet. I'm home working. My housekeeper's there. What happens in the building is if you have packages or bags that you bring in with you that you want help with them coming upstairs, they bring them up and they knock on your door and you bring them inside. What happened was she came in from Aspen, gave them her bags, and building staff mistakenly put them in front of my door instead of hers. And my door is literally 12 feet away from her door, right across the hall. Like, the digits to our units are incredibly similar. They actually look similar too. So they thought they were mine. They knock on the door, my housekeeper sees them and thinks that they're mine, places them inside the unit. I'm leaving to go to work, and I see them on the floor as I'm walking out. This is like in a matter of 1 second. And I just assume that they're hers. Like, I didn't look at them really. I noticed like a half-eaten sandwich, but I just assumed that was hers and maybe that was her lunch or something. So I leave. As I am in the lobby about to get into my car, someone comes up to me that works in the building and is like, oh, sir, we made a huge mistake. Like, we delivered the bags to the wrong apartment. I'm like, all right, no problem. Let's go upstairs. And they were telling me something about like, oh, she's, very upset. She's your neighbor, a nice lady. I'm like, okay, like, great. I'm excited to meet her because I haven't met anyone on my floor. So I was like, oh, like, I'm friends with my neighbors in New York. I'll be friends with my neighbor in LA. So I get out of the elevator, like, excited to meet my neighbors. That's when the video starts, and she's spiraling. I did not want any sort of drama. I wanted a very peaceful living environment. I didn't want to risk having an awkward hallway encounter, an awkward elevator encounter worse. So I just kind of kept it very cute. I did not like the fact that she was accusing me of taking her bag because I just don't care about her bags. I also didn't like the fact that she assumed my housekeeper couldn't have a T. Anthony bag. Because, like, T. Anthony? I used to do flowers for Kris Jenner, and her housekeepers have Goyard bags. So I don't see her point. My housekeeper makes a lot of money. So I didn't like that. She made it about like accepting foreign bags that weren't mine. I was like, I barely saw your bags. Yeah, I was home all day, but I didn't see your bags there. I was in a different room. So I only saw them when I was walking out. And when I saw them, I assumed they were my housekeepers. But according to her, like, how could I ever assume that T. Anthony bag was a housekeeper's bag, as if what, a housekeeper should carry around like a trash bag? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I didn't like that. It was very entitled and conceited. And then she listed off 3 or so complaints like, oh, like you were doing a lot of work, the construction was nonstop, the dog was yapping, la 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 la. But then proceeded to say that we're the nicest neighbors you could have because we're never here, so we never complain. And I'm like, girl, you just listed like 5 complaints in the span of 6 seconds. And also, my dog wasn't there because we didn't live there because it was a construction site for years. So there was no dog in that unit. And also, I'm not the one who remodeled the apartment. I got the apartment after it was remodeled, so I'm not responsible for the nonstop ruckus of construction that happened predating my arrival. Yeah, I mean, she like didn't really give me an opportunity to get a word out, and I wasn't gonna like talk over her the way she was talking over me.
Yeah, I love how he brings up the point that she claims that she's never in the apartment because she goes to Aspen and she is the nicest neighbor, but then they never complain about anything, but then she complains about everything. And he goes on to explain that they're not here in the, like, he wasn't here in the apartment and had nothing to do with the construction going on. And I think it was such a weird encounter to like even see. And most of the kind of TikTok responses to this guy and his video have been like, you know, what's a T. Anthony bag? You know, you should get your housekeeper a T. Anthony bag just to kind of show this woman, or get her a bag that's like really expensive to like rub it in this lady's face. And most of the responses were just criticizing what this lady said because it was just outrageous. And the encounter was really weird, and most people brought that up. Like, this is the first time you're probably meeting your, like, new neighbor. Why would you start accusing them of trying to steal your bag when they don't really care? And like I said before, this is kind of like a high-end establishment. This is like apartment place. So do you think someone's going to steal your bag? They probably have a more expensive bag than you. But this has just been some really weird drama, and I just wanted to cover it because I was like, what the heck is actually going on? Like, what is wrong with people nowadays? But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.